पॉलिसी बाजार पर 1 करोड़ रुपए का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस केवल 450 रुपए महीने से शुरू। वाव!
Hello and welcome. You're watching The Big Fight, a show that is young at 23, the oldest running debate show on Indian news television. I'm Sanket Upadhyay. 2022 draws to a close. 2023 is here. But we are going to talk politics right now. Not do politics, talk politics. In 2023, there are 10 critical assembly elections which are going to be a test for the big electoral contest in 2024, which by the way is just 16 months away. It's not that far, 16 months. So in effect, you can think that this next 12 months will be spent in preparation of 2024. So how are political parties preparing? For the Congress party, there is a Bharat Jodo Yatra which has been able to build some momentum around the Congress and its leader Rahul Gandhi. Lots of buzz and chatter around it. But can it make a political difference in state assembly elections and then in the 2024 electoral contest? And then there are other regional arrangements also who want their shot at power. You've got the TRS, which has now become the BRS, the Samajwadi Party, which is hopeful in Uttar Pradesh, but at the same time does not want to be seen in an alliance with the Congress party. They're not going to participate in the Bharat Jodo Yatra as it enters that critical phase in Uttar Pradesh. The Aam Aadmi Party trying to dislodge the Congress, at least that is what their mission is, that we are the principal opposition. And you juxtapose all of this with the Bharatiya Janata Party, which says that we have launched a mission 350, not 300, not 282, 350 par. And they say that we have already identified 140 seats that we lost, a very targeted campaign there, and the 20 odd seats where we had a victory with a very slender margin, narrow margin. So the big question on the year-end big fight tonight is this: the BJP has jump-started its mission election. Can the opposition catch up? Let's begin our discussion. I have with me in our studio Mr. Satya Prakash, JDU spokesperson. Thank you very much for joining us. Nalini Singh is a senior journalist. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. Ghanshyam Tiwari, Samajwadi Party spokesperson. Alok Vats, leader of the BJP. Sanjay Kumar, psephologist and professor. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Priyanka Kakkad, Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson, as well as Dr. Onika Mehrotra, Congress spokesperson. We'll be joined in with more guests. This is like, as Ghanshyam Tiwari was saying just a short while ago, it's not the big fight, it's a very big fight with a lot of people in the studio. Thank you so much for coming. Let's begin with our first segment here, which is called The First Punch, where each of you get 1 minute of time for your opening comment. Alok Vats, we'll begin with you. Your time begins now.
Sanket, first I will take opportunity to pay homage to Hira Behan, the Prime Minister's mother who died today. And second is the example which he has set. The Prime Minister has said that we have started our mission of work, and as it is in the coming ensuing elections, we are always on an election mode. And as you have rightly said, we have identified the areas where we lost or where we won with a narrow margin. Our work is going on very effectively, and we are very hopeful that we are going to touch 350 in the 2024 elections and the state elections also. Northeast we are going to do very well. We'll get repeated in Madhya Pradesh. We'll capture Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, and also we will Karnataka also we are going to come back, and in Andhra also we hope to make a formidable dent.
Okay, sure. Nalini ji.
Well, I will certainly not talk about what Mr. Vats has talked about, the preparation of the BJP, because neither of the preparation of the opposition. But I think what is extremely interesting is that these 10 elections do have the potential to galvanize the opposition if the BJP loses even one of the states that it is expected to win. It's already, I think, in power in 7 of the 10 states, because that gives the, or should give the opposition the narrative to talk about the vulnerability of the BJP as a political entity. And for 2024, I think the results of these elections in 23 are very critical to set the ground rules and as well as the potential for coalitions that might emerge. And also, I think, the political initiative that you talked about, the Bharat Jodo Yatra, for instance, there are several political initiatives that one can identify. Besides Bharat Jodo, there is welfareism, there is the distribution of goods and services, free goods and services ad infinitum, etc., to tell the population that we are here and these will never go.
Okay.
So I would say that these also have, you'll be able to rank them about how efficient they are,
Okay.
and then the leader will get. And just just about 5 seconds, the Election Commission's new initiative for 45 crore migrant people, that they can vote from wherever they are, that must have our hawk's eye on it, because many things can happen there. And the last thing is that the Election Commission should know that the public is now watching what it says on the poll day regarding the poll percentage, and how it hikes it by 3 to 5% the day after. So I'm not saying that they're pulling rabbits out of a hat, but these are in BJP
I think you
elections.
can further elaborate on this point the last point that you have made. I'll come to you.
Yeah, that people are going to look at the hat now.
Dr. Mehrotra.
Well, Sanket ji, the Bharat Jodo Yatra has which ways has carved a line which is far, far bigger than what the others or the people in power can even match up. So hence that is going to create a mark on the people of our country. B, I would like to say that the balloon full of, they said Vikas ka balloon that they wanted to fly higher and higher has badly bursted because it was full of jumlas. And they are not bothered to talk about inflation or price rise or unemployment, and hence these issues are which the Congress is going to target, and through which the people of our country will definitely have a tilt towards Congress because that's the meaningful discussion, or that's what is our country looking forward to, unlike the jumlas which they have been spreading. It has bursted, and the myth that BJP has always saying that 200 par, 300 par, they've been saying them for the last 70 years. For which they might have just achieved success. But recent debacle in Himachal has proven that BJP, no matter what they do in advance, will not be able to match up with what we have done with the message of Bharat Jodo Yatra.
You said that BJP's jumlas for the past 70 years, the party was formed in 1980s.
No. They've been saying 70 saal Congress, 70 saal Congress. I meant by that, 65 years. At least 5 years they were also in power, sir.
Priyanka Kakkar, your opening comments.
Sanketji, we are now a national party. We'll be going to polls for the first time as a national party.
Yeah, so 2022 is a special year for you.
Definitely.
Become a national party.
Definitely. Gar se national party ban kar aaye. So 3 times we won in Delhi. After that in the MCD we've won. We've removed the BJP, incumbent BJP, which was there for 15 years. We've also got nearly 15% vote in Gujarat and 5 seats. We've got 2 MLAs in Goa now. That was our first dent in the south. So we are the fastest evolving party globally, I would think, not even just nationally. There's no doubt about it. And we are presenting an alternative to both these parties, which are the same. That Congress and BJP are 2 sides of the same coin. And whether it is inflation, this is the central government data that it is the least controlled in Delhi. It is the best controlled in Delhi, sorry. It is at 4%. All the BJP ruled states have the highest inflation, whether it is UP, whether it is Madhya Pradesh. Then again, whether it is the masla of sasti bijli or the cheapest bijli in the country, we are providing it. So whatever issues are connected with the people and ease the life and provide a better lifestyle. We are working on those. When it comes to, Alok ji mentioned Madhya Pradesh. He will repeat Madhya Pradesh. Well, they won Madhya Pradesh because of Operation Lotus.
Priyanka, I'm going to come back to you. 1 minute time is over. We will open this up for a debate also in just a short moment. But Professor Kumar.
Sanket, if you look at a classroom and if there is a 10th exam, the student who is an excellent student doesn't bother about the pre-board. This is with regard to the BJP. And the student who are not very sharp in the class, they have to first worry about the pre-board, that I have to clear my pre-boards. And even the parents have raises the expectation once the student does well in the pre-board. So what is happening is that the BJP in the electoral contest of 2023 is like a student who is an excellent student, brilliant student. They are not looking at 2023. They are so they are aiming for 2024. But if you look at the opposition parties, they are like they have to first qualify, they have to win the 2023 assembly elections, and that will shape up how they are going to contest 2024. If they do well, that's like the pre-board exams for them. If they do well, even the voters would start galvanizing around the opposition. If opposition manages to win a couple of states, suppose Congress manages to win 2 or 3 states, I think the contest would start moving in a different direction for 2024. But if you fail in pre-board exam, I think board exam is going to be disaster for the opposition
I like
party.
this analogy. and we'll take this further in the discussion also, because the Congress was very, very successful in the 2018 pre-boards, but it kind of flunked in the board exams of 2024. In 2019, sorry, yeah. Yes, Mr. Prakash, Satya Prakash.
You know, Sanket ji, the claim of BJP winning 350, more than 350 seats is a fake claim. BJP raised to 303 in the last general election due to so many allies, stronger allies, Shiv Sena, Akali Dal, JDU and other allies as well. And that was a wave of Pulwama wave. BJP has no certain kind of wave. Now it is facing the huge anti-incumbency. You know, regarding the West Bengal, it won only 17 seats, and in Jharkhand and in Bihar, it is going to lose. It is not going to repeat the same seat. So JDU is going to reduce by 50 seats to the BJP, and BJP is not going to come to power. What the Nitish Kumar has talked about, the unity of opposition, of the demand of the time, and definitely he met the several leader of the opposition political party. They are agree with the concept of unity of one opposition together with the Congress, but there are political outfit like Aam Aadmi Party and the KCR, Telangana, Chief Minister's party. They are anti of the BJP together with the even Congress. But at the same point of time, you see the past, when last in general election, Aam Aadmi Party wanted to contest election with the Congress in the Delhi. They asked Congress to have an alliance in the Delhi, but Congress refused to do so, and that never happened.
Okay.
But this time, unity of opposition is required to contain the BJP. If BJP perform well in the coming assembly election, it doesn't mean that BJP is gonna perform well in the national election as well. Why?
Sure.
Because what happened when the Congress was in power.
Satya Prakash, I'll come to you in just a short moment. Two more people have to speak. I would also like to welcome Professor Geeta Bhatt, who's in the studio with us. But Ghanshyam Tiwari, your opening comments.
Well, as the year ends, my greetings to you, the fellow co-panelists and every one of the viewer. And I would also like to start with paying my Shraddhanjali to the departed mother of Prime Minister Modi ji. As far as 2024 election is concerned, I think the primary point is what Nalini ji also said, that the benchmark will be defined on how 2023 plays out in the state elections. Largely these are BJP versus Congress elections. Second is in Uttar Pradesh, where Samajwadi Party is active. We have launched Samvidhan Bachao Yatra. It is now open that BJP is going to do every trick that it can pull, which is built on dishonesty and mischief, to snatch away the right of reservation that our constitution gives to the OBCs. And as a result, it is the strength of Samvidhan Bachao Yatra, the fight on employment issues, the fight on inflation, the fight on harmony. That is the defining course of what Samajwadi Party would focus on in 2023. I'm not here to make tall claims that BJP's 350 mission or 400 mission is a farce, as well as we will have a similar mission. But what I can say is that 2024 is going to be different because, one, there are more architects for a grand opposition alliance. Two, the issues are far more real, and unlike 2019, there isn't a national security issue that will sway emotions. And three, every political party is far more stronger in their ability to give a befitting response. My final point is, for example, in Uttar Pradesh election, we got 3 crore votes standing by ourselves, whereas BJP got around 3 crore 80 lakh votes. When BJP had a box full of chief ministers and ministers touring the entire state, and thousands of crores were spent. So I think there is a very strong battle line that is emerging in Uttar Pradesh, and the issues are also strong.
Sure. Professor Geeta Bhatt.
Well, Sanketji, you know, for any political party to, whether it is a state election or whether it is a general Lok Sabha election, what is needed is a good, you know, very strong organizational base, a very clear-cut ideology and a very strong, you know, leadership. And I think if you look at in terms of the state elections, definitely the local issues are also going to have some significance, some importance. And in the general elections, it is also that people are going to look at that who they want to see in the prime ministerial position, and definitely they would like to have a leadership which is able to, you know, sail through both in favorable and in adverse circumstances, like we saw during the COVID period, how India was able to very successfully, you know, launch the vaccination, and more than 200 crore vaccinations taking place vis-a-vis with whether developing nation or developed nation. So these are the aspects which definitely people are going to see in whether it is in terms of state elections or in the general election. But yes, one important aspect that we do see is that all the state, you know, assembly elections which are going to be held in 2023, if you look at what is the common factor in all the states, like whether you look in the Hindi heartland, in Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, there is going to be more or less a direct contest between Congress and Bharatiya Janata Party. And if you look at other states, for example, Tripura, it is going to be Congress left BJP. If you look in Karnataka, it is going to be Congress, JDS, BJP. And in Telangana, if you see, again you see that it is BJP, Congress and TRS.
Okay.
So one important aspect is that
so you're saying that the BJP is already earmarked different opponents in different parts of the country and is strategizing accordingly.
Yes, and the one political party which is present in all the states. So definitely a party, largely all the parties, they are more or less, you know, fighting only in the state,
Professor Sanjay
including
Kumar,
Samajwadi Party.
Professor Sanjay Kumar, I want to come to you now and talk about the opposition, right? Now we know, you know, in your opening comment you said that there is a studious, meritorious child in the Bharatiya Janata Party which is just straight away aiming for the boards. How do you look at this preparation of the principal opposition party called the Congress? They've got the momentum, they're trying to build this momentum with the Bharat Jodo Yatra, and to some extent they may have been successful also. But how much of this is going to translate electorally is a big question. You see, two of their tall leaders, one is Mr. P. Chidambaram, and you were in an earlier show with us and you shared your views, says that our preparation is not up to the mark, certainly not as the BJP.
Yeah.
A.K. Antony yesterday had a very, very important, on Thursday, a very important observation saying that if you want to win elections, you will have to reach out to the Hindus and not just focus entirely on the minorities. Do you feel that these are important voices from within the Congress trying to, you know, basically direct them to go in the right direction?
No, absolutely. These are important voices, not because these are tall leaders, but because the kind of issues which they are raising, these are important issues. What P. Chidambaram said is absolutely right. He mentioned state by state, which are the states where Congress is in a, you know, like a strong position or in a position to challenge the BJP. Name those states: Telangana, maybe Madhya Pradesh, maybe Karnataka, Chhattisgarh. So the issues are important. If you leave aside these two names also, the issues are important. I think Congress need to address these issues if they want to perform well in 2023. And I am again repeating, if the regional parties or Congress manages to perform well in 2023, they would be able to shift the focus of election. And this whole idea or this whole balloon which is that, you know, defeating BJP is going to be very, very difficult, that will get punctured and the focus will start shifting on the issues on which the real issues on the ground on which the elections were held in Himachal. So it will start moving in the direction. But imagine if BJP win most of the states and Congress doesn't manage to perform well, 2024 is going to be a massive landslide for BJP.
Yeah. Now, one point that Nalini ji as well as Priyanka Kakkar, one by one, I want to ask you. In an interview on Thursday to NDTV, the former governor of Meghalaya, Mr. Satyapal Malik, who I think has some sort of an axe to grind these days, basically said that the opposition must follow something called the VP Singh model. He says that there should be one candidate against, one united opposition candidate against the Bharatiya Janata Party, and that is the only way you will be able to defeat them. You know, this stems from a theory of index of opposition unity. In this very panel, you will see that does not really exist in its true form right now. So do you feel that this is going to work against the opposition, the fact that they are still not united? I mean, we've been talking about Mahagathbandhans and opposition unity for a very long time now. It's not happened.
Yeah, I think, Sanket, we cannot give the calendar to the opposition to say you unite by then and you disunite by such and such date. What happens is when there is a political event, then a political momentum around that event, and if people see, the opposition sees that they also have a stake in it, they will also have skin in that game, then that is when they will start doing their balancing, their act of profit and loss and shall we join, etc. What I would say is that we are saying it's still not, 16 months away and they still not got their act together, etc. In fact, we should be looking at how many candidates there are for this pivoted, for this coveted pivot, which is the prime ministerial, this thing, which is starting from the east, you got Mamata Banerjee, Nitish Kumar, come down to TRS, then have KCR, then you have of course, Rahul Gandhi, Mr. Vats is adding Kejriwal. He's prompting me, and I would say there may be, some others in other states. Why are we missing out Stalin, for instance?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that it is extraordinary that we are talking about the same national kind of image which we have got used to, which is to say charisma of Narendra Modi, religion, and nationalism.
But Nalini, that is true, no?
Sanket,
because you look at Mr. Antony's comment, he says that Congress, if you want to win elections, you have to reach out to the Hindus.
Sanket, please, at least we should look at the granular situation. At the granular level, you've got what I would call rifts in all the parties, in all the states.
That's true.
In everywhere. Then you've got corruption. I mean, Karnataka is called a 40%, what is it called? 40% commission, this thing. Then you've got always the specter of money. BJP has enormous resources. I don't know if Congress does, I don't know if Samajwadi Party does, but we know about that. We know the game that money can play. We also know what caste will play. Everything will happen around caste. Ghanshyam,
but money has not always worked. For instance, it did not work magically for the BJP in West Bengal.
Or in Himachal Pradesh.
In Himachal Pradesh.
But I would say that we've got to look at that. I'm just saying that is the granular situation. The last one is anti-incumbency, if it comes along. So if we get stuck in the BJP's narrative of these three top things, which is charisma and religion and nationalism, we will miss what the people are actually saying.
Correct.
Which is the rifts.
But how
in
do you
the party.
capture the imagination? The point that Priyanka Kakkar, the point that Nalini Singh just made, that the BJP knows what its pitch is. And it loves to play cricket on that pitch, right? It's like Australia and Melbourne cricket ground. How do you all get together to build a strong and a robust team? For instance, right now, this comment was made that Aam Aadmi Party is on its own path. You have ruled out the Congress, you have ruled out the BJP, you have ruled out other players. You tried, entering into an alliance in UP with the Samajwadi Party. That did not work out. So when there will be no united opposition, then there will definitely be an advantage for the BJP.
Sanket ji, we are very clear. Arvind Kejriwal ji has made it very clear that हम जोड़-तोड़ की राजनीति में विश्वास नहीं करते. We are going to take the people's mudda to the people, and we are a national party now. And like I previously said, that it seems to us that, at least to me, that the only party which is constantly working on the issues or uplifting the people is the Aam Aadmi Party. Where, I mean, Congress can sit here and say that they've been talking about inflation, but just then actually the discussion was on inflation in the parliament. The supporters of Congress and the MPs were burning tires on the road because the ED was questioning Rahul Gandhi ji, and we were sitting on a dharna 50 hours so that the discussion could at least happen. So we are definitely, we don't believe in the jod tod ki rajniti, I'll repeat that, and that is how we will go forward.
No, is this lack of pragmatism what is taking you forward? I ask you this question because generally it is said, I mean, you're balking at the idea of coalition, right?
Correct.
But coalition is what has given this country some successful governments, from Vajpayee to UPA 1 to UPA 2. I mean,
That is
coalition
true,
is
even
not a bad word.
Currently, even the BJP came to power with these many seats with coalition in several states.
Your first tryst with power in Delhi was coalition.
That is what the people demanded at that time, and then we broke it also because that was the referendum of the people. We did both.
Okay.
So,
okay. One more. I believe we have Trinamool Congress MP Sushmita Dev also with us. Ms. Dev, thank you very much for joining us. Where do you stand on this issue of being fighting fit for 2024?
2024 is round the corner, Sanket. I totally agree with you. And I don't undermine the power of the argument that people want to see a united opposition. But I think what the unity has to be, it has to be a tactical one. In the sense that I'm asking a simple question. Will Congress agree not to give any candidates in Bengal? Let's look at it the other way. Because in Bengal they are nowhere, they have hardly any vote bank. So will they agree? I don't think so, even given the situation they are in. But what I think is this unity has to be tactical in the sense that the parties, there are two sections of kinds of parties here. One section is parties who are in a straight alliance with the Congress party, like NCP, like JMM, like RJD. But there are parties like Aam Aadmi Party, TMC, Samajwadi Party who are not in alliance with the Congress. And then there are parties like Jagan Mohan Reddy and TRS. Jagan Mohan Reddy, who is with the BJP. So what I think is that what will be an interesting thing to look at is post-poll. And I think what every party needs to realize is that wherever let's say if the Congress is in a straight fight with the BJP in Rajasthan, in Chhattisgarh, in states like Himachal in 2024, they should be left to fight there and win. Like Karnataka, we hope the Congress wins. But at the same side, Congress should also consider not disturbing Mamata Banerjee in Delhi. So it can't be a unity.
If I were to inverse that logic, by that logic, you should not have gone to Goa. You should not be going to Tripura.
See, Sanket, let me tell you something. We are in Assam, we are in Meghalaya, we are in Tripura, we are in Goa, where repeatedly the Congress is losing. We are not in Chhattisgarh, we are not in Rajasthan, we are not in Himachal, we are not. So please understand.
You see, Sushmita Dev, this has a lot to do with your understanding.
See, Sanket,
you are saying that there should be a post-poll scenario. If there is nothing that happens or no understanding between the opposition, here you have a challenger. You have a challenger who is already playing a mission 350 game. What will you do post-poll?
Sanket, 350 sounds very fancy. Okay. They are at their saturation points in states like Gujarat. Okay. They are at their saturation point when it comes to Rajasthan. In the south, they are relying on their allies. So to say we are going to cross 350 is nothing but bravado. Just like 56 inches chest was, it turned out into nothing. So let's not go down that road. But what I am saying is very simple. There has to be a very tactical approach to this election. And I think that the largest has to be shown by the Congress party. And I'm on record saying in Karnataka, Congress is going to be the strongest contender. We wish them well, but they also have to know where to retreat. Let me give you the example of Goa. People said don't vote for TMC. They've come 3 months before. God knows what their agenda is. Let's stick to the old, the old devil, if you like, Congress. After winning 8 MLAs, go to the BJP. You understand what I'm saying? So that is an argument.
Okay,
I
but
can't
there are
you can't maintain.
many contradictions called the Indian politics, where Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari, you see, I remember that very famous 2009 alliance that wasn't between the Samajwadi Party and the Congress, where Amar Singh and Digvijay Singh were coordinating, and the very famous term was coined called friendly fight, right? the Samajwadi Party was giving Congress only 5 out of 80. The Congress won 21 in that election. So if the Congress were to have agreed with that formula that Sushmita Dev is talking about, the Congress would have never tasted success. It's another thing that the Congress is now decimated in Uttar Pradesh. What is your assessment on number 1, Mission 350 of the BJP, and number 2 of breaking it in terms of a united opposition strategy?
Well, when you say Mission 350, you think that the voters of the country are fools. Because you give a overarching number, you give a god-like figure that our leader is god-like figure is now father of the nation, according to some people in BJP, and you say that now you don't have any choice, there is no other alternative. These 3 arguments put the voter as if the voter in India has no other choice. It's in dictatorship that voter doesn't have a choice. It's in democracy voters always have a choice. When BJP meets opposition parties in 2024, here are the leaders they will meet. They will meet Mamata Banerjee ji, who has famously defeated them in Bengal. In 2019, that was not the case. BJP was not defeated at the hands of Mamata Banerjee ji in the same way. They will meet Akhilesh Yadav ji, who on his own strength garnered 3 crore votes in Uttar Pradesh. They will meet Nitish Kumar ji, who ditched BJP, left BJP, even though BJP seemed like it is unstoppable machine. I hope you understand your limitations also. And Akhilesh Yadav is powerful to some extent in Uttar Pradesh, but not beyond. Well, similarly, the JDU has access in a few states, but not beyond. We are saying that a party who has a 75-year-old leader who's not delivered on any of his famous promises is not limited. It is unlimited. It can coin 350. But leaders who have repeatedly won their states, fought BJP in their states, have run government in their state, hold legitimacy on the success of their schemes in their states, will not have legitimacy, will be defeated. I think the failure of 2024 for BJP will be relying too much on a aging Mr. Modi, a failed agenda of hope. There is not one constituency in India today, whether it is youth, whether it is women, whether it is farmers, whether it is the armed forces, that you can name that this constituency is excited about, except a couple of businessmen. No one else is excited about BJP. Okay, so the recent example, Mr. Satya Prakash, and then Professor Kumar, I want to come to you, is the Gujarat election. Just a short while back, we heard a comment, I think Sushmita Dev made that comment about the BJP maxing out in a few of these states. The BJP got a 150, the best ever performance in Gujarat. And while you would say that this is too much dependence on Narendra Modi's charisma, they were also, in their own calculation, there is also a person called C.R. Patil, who did this silent, low-key management of those elections. So do you feel that in terms of, we can speak about and talk about issues that should matter and do not matter, but at the end of the day, winning elections are important in a democracy, right? This too is important. I'm saying, where do you see yourself fighting fit in 2024? 10 electoral challenges in 23 and then the 2024 challenge. How do you become fighting fit?
Let me formulate in this way. Suppose Congress performed well in these coming election of 10 state. Will you take the chance if all opposition party unite together? Then there will have an edge to the opposition unity. Okay, fine. Gujarat is won by BJP. It's fine. It's BJP's stronghold. But what about Madhya Pradesh? Is gonna BJP repeat the 28 seats in the Madhya Pradesh and the same in the Gujarat and the West Bengal? What I'm trying to tell, and what Nitish Kumar has remarkably said, categorically stated, that if BJP is reduced by 50 seats, it is not gonna come to power. 350 magic didn't happen in the last national election. BJP claimed that time also. Amit Shah given interview that BJP is gonna come to more than 350. 353 happened, but on the basis of what? Support of the Shiv Sena, Akali Dal, Janata Dal United. And all of them are 39 seats won by the alliance in the Bihar. But BJP is gonna lose every seat in the Bihar because of the social equation in the Bihar there. If Samajwadi Party Sharad Pawar's party, JDU, even the Aam Aadmi Party, TRS Congress, BJP, all opposition party, if think that they want to contain BJP in 2024, they will have to come to on a single platform, leading by any opposition leader.
I mean,
Nitish Kumar has talked to Akhilesh Yadav, everyone. He has, he has paved the way for everyone. He has
Akhilesh Yadav only on Thursday he said my ideology is very different from Congress.
Okay, it's fine. Ideology may be different, but they are opposite to the BJP.
Bataiye, Ghanshyam ji.
They are
How can you fight this? Satya Prakash ji has just given
Yadav tomorrow will not able to form the government with the opposition unity?
Yeah.
Will he support the BJP?
Why don't you respond?
Well, I think that the response is Akhilesh ji has said in 2019, in 2021 that we see BJP and Congress as same sides of the or sides of the same coin. But at the same time, he also said that हमारा भारत जोड़ो यात्रा के लिए भावनात्मक समर्थन है. I think we have to start from what the voters want. The voters in Uttar Pradesh want a fight back from Samajwadi Party against the agenda of BJP. The voters in Bengal want a fight back led by Mamata Banerjee ji. And I think it is one, the course of 2023 elections, and two, the strength of individual parties in their state.
Okay.
That will determine the course of 2024.
Sure. Professor Kumar, where do you stand on this issue of opposition unity? It has not worked so far. I mean, the last big experiment happened in 2015 in Bihar only, where we had a Mahagathbandhan,
seven-party government there,
which worked. I'm talking about the first successful Mahagathbandhan after 2014. The first successful one was 2015, then it broke, and then now they've come back.
Sanket, any effort of opposition parties of having a national alliance is certainly going to fail. That's not going to work.
It'll fail.
Certainly, I'm saying, I use the word national alliance against BJP. So what they have to do, and many political parties are thinking on those lines, you have to have means regional parties, the non-BJP, non-Congress parties, they have to work out an alliance at the state level. The reference which was being given about, say, Bihar. So in Bihar, JDU and RJD, they have to form an alliance, and other smaller parties, other regional parties have to keep themselves away from Bihar. So if regional parties manages to have state-wise alliance, this can put up some resistance to BJP in 2024. If they manage to do even that, I think even 350 could be a reality for BJP.
So you're saying instead of a larger umbrella coalition of the opposition, have smaller alliances specific to states?
Absolutely, that's the key for success of opposition for 2024.
Dr. Mehrotra, as a representative of the Congress, do you feel that this is more realistic? You just heard Sushmita Dev. She said, I mean, you have to realize your strengths and weaknesses.
Absolutely, I agree with Sushmita as well as Sir, because you see the larger than life size image of Mr. Modi at the moment is quite diluted. And this is the right time to strike tactically, as Sushmita ji said, because ultimately what is the motive? Ultimately what is that we're fighting against? If we can't achieve, then the purpose is defeated then. Hence, we have to fight tactically, yes. Wherever we are strong, we must come all for it, and wherever the other parties are, if we want to go in for a coalition, if that's the way ahead to defeat the BJP or the powers.
But does that happen? The allegation, I'll tell you what, Sushmita ji said it in previous programs also, the allegation against the Congress is that you try to play this big boss, big brother in every alliance, where you want the lion's share, but then your strike rate on delivering is not very good.
See, unfortunately, yes, during these last 8 years, yes, it has really gone down, but the track record of Congress has always been strong, and hence we take the leap forward.
No, track record strong where?
Has always been. Before 2014, I mean, we were always a stronger part. You see, that's what I'm saying. 8 years down the line, we have reduced in a vote share, no denying about it, and hence we have to tread carefully, as I said, because ultimately, what are we working against? The forces which are dividing the country, the forces which are not working towards unemployment or price rise or Hindu Muslim all the time.
Okay.
We look for a secular government.
And I'll come to you also. We have heard, yes, sure, ma'am. We have heard a lot from what the opposition should do or not do, and the whole thrust of this conversation is that how to take on the BJP. Do you feel that at this moment, the Bharatiya Janata Party is kind of basking in a great degree of overconfidence? Or this is realistic? 350 is realistic.
Sanket, remember this, we are a party who is always in the election mode.
Is that something to be proud of?
Yes, yes. जो हमारा काम हम करते हैं, पॉलिटिकल पार्टी किस लिए है? राजनीति करने के लिए. So we do politics. We are always at it. And let me tell you, there is an old saying: when monkeys fight, the cat has the lion's share. Is there any opposition to us at the national level? I don't think so. Do you think all these 6-7 contenders for the Prime Minister, they will ever unite? Like the professor has said, no. So who will gain by this? We are already at it, and full throttle we are working with the people, and here people are disarrayed. They are going all their own way. He says, the Aam Aadmi Party says, I will be the Prime Minister. Rahul Gandhi, people are saying Prime Minister. Even VRS made an announcement that he is the next Prime Minister, going to be the Prime Minister. Mr. Nitish Kumar came to Delhi and met people.
Not at all. Mr. Kumar has never
Even
claimed
Mr.
for the
Arvind
Prime
Kejriwal did
Minister.
not make such a claim.
He has categorically
I
stated.
didn't say that
not
he
make
came
such
as
a
the
claim.
Prime Minister. You are not letting me complete my
Sanket,
go
one
ahead.
short
He came to Delhi, met everybody and went back.
But never claimed that he is the Prime Minister.
No, he never claimed to be the Prime Minister. He wanted to make an alternative to Prime Minister Modi, but he went back empty-handed, and now he has.
How do you know? He has never backed with empty-handed. He got the support of so many political outfits.
One sec. And let me tell you one thing. You were talking about the Hindi heartland. In last election, out of 225 seats, we won 203. So our vote bank has, even we have lost.
But that's the point. Have you in 2024, will you be able to better this?
Our vote bank has never gone down. Even in Delhi, our vote percentage increased. In Himachal, only 0.9% was the difference. So our voters have not left us. In fact, they have increased. And with our going in with them, and the way we are dedicatedly, towards election,
one by one.
we are going to increase this vote bank.
So I would say, taking up from him, from Mr. Vats, if he says that our vote bank was only 0.9% or whatever in Himachal Pradesh, so BJP was. So the other reality is that in Tripura, the BJP's vote bank was only 1.37% more than their opponents. So, in order for this to make sense, so sometimes you're winning, you're scraping through. So, it appears to me as if Congress scraped through in Himachal Pradesh, then BJP scraped through in Tripura. And just talking about Tripura, Biplab Deb or Manik Saha, these are not Mamata Banerjee, who could withstand the 30 years of a CPM left government, and then she stood her ground. Over here, they threw away Biplab, or at least they changed him because they found that there was some weakness which has crept in. So I would just say that, in the tactical that Sushmita spoke about, be tactical, it appears to me, are they ready that everybody will get something? Why are they only going after the Prime Minister's chair? Is there such a huge difference between the Prime Minister and the one who the second, let's say the Home Minister, that everybody gets something, you get an opportunity to serve the country, but do they want to do that? I have a big question on that. And the other thing is that, that we must now check, does the voter punish those who decamp, migrate? Let me just be very stark and look at Madhya Pradesh. Jyotiraditya Scindia migrated with 27 MLAs or whatever, and there are all these murmurs about what money was involved in this. So I would say, are the voters going to punish, or are they all right with this? If they're all right, then this has become part of, the par for the course. The other thing I would say is, when we are talking about the Hindi heartland, and we are talking about the West and the Hindi heartland, as long as good people in Gujarat think that that Mr. Narendra Modi and his government are stable, they are going to vote lock, stock and barrel for Mr. Modi. We have seen this just now. So even in 2024, it can be taken for granted, if they see total stability over here, Gujarat will, that is the nucleus when it starts forming. So stability is another is another perception which has been which the BJP has been able to communicate extremely effectively.
Exactly.
That the
So
others are
you
dodging.
always pitch this as something for the voters to see.
But watch
we
what-
offer stability. Look what others have to offer. So that becomes a contrast. Okay. So Shmita Dev, the point that Professor Kumar just made, and I want to come back to that point. Do you feel that smaller alliances, tactical alliances, may work better than a big national alliance in the opposition? Because when you think of something like this, it has proven to be unachievable. It's not working. Too many variables.
You see, apart from the Congress party, there are very few parties who actually have any seats outside their own state, right? Aam Aadmi Party's recent adventure in Gujarat, was a laboratory for what can happen, what can't happen. We spoke about Goa. Now, what I'm saying is as follows. This whole thing about everything is digital, everything is transparent. Please look at the larger picture. There's a huge section of people who are unhappy with the BJP. Okay, and it's going to take a combination of a tactical understanding. It's going to take a combination of having an organization. Let me tell you one reason Mamata Ji won Bengal is because it beat the BJP in the game of grassroots organization, without which she could not have done it. BJP couldn't cope with her booth level workers. So it's going to take a whole set of things to come together. And please understand that UPA was a post-poll alliance. So UPA stand is the biggest, if you like, case study of how post-poll they can be. And let me put it on record. Congress has the most difficult role to play and the biggest role to play. And let me tell you why. What the Congress central leaders think, their regional satraps don't think that way. If Mamata Didi wanted to have an adjustment with Congress in Bengal in the last election, let me tell you, the backroom chat, because she preferred to have Congress as an opposition than the BJP coming up there. But the regional, the local state leaders didn't allow it. So it is Khadge ji, Sonia ji, Rahul ji, we will have to manage a lot of aspirations at the national level and at the state level. So frankly speaking, you can't come with a sense of entitlement that I am the largest party. Of course Congress is the largest party. Of course they have the largest vote share. But they have to be smart about it. You see, so frankly speaking, today Mamata, I am telling you Sanket, write it down, BJP is struggling to even win in 5 seats in the 2024 election. They will come down from 18. Right? But then Congress
No, for
and the
Bengal,
CPM,
they have grand plans. North Bengal,
That's fine.
building
That's
on
fine.
their vote share of 2021,
fair enough. Of
2019
course,
inroads.
in a democracy, everybody has to try. We can't stop them for trying. I'm telling you what my assessment is. But then here it takes for the Congress and the left to decide that what are they going to do and what sacrifices are they going to make sure that BJP loses
Okay.
there.
Professor-
So I think Congress has a very big role to play. They need to think about all
Professor
this.
Kumar, would you agree that the Congress will have to take that responsibility of being realistic?
I think this is the difficulty. All these regional parties, they think themselves of big. They don't realize that they are big in their own state. They are not big outside their own state. So that's the difficulty. And I think the bigger difficulty for Congress these days is that Congress is getting a punch from all the sides. Look at when you talk to the TMC people, they would give a punch to Congress. If you talk to Samajwadi Party, they give a punch to Congress. When you're talking about UP, you talk about Bihar, so they will get a punch from RJD and JDU. So they are getting punches from all the sides. So Congress is in a really difficult situation.
But what do they do with those punches?
Sir, the biggest
I mean, you have to be realistic also.
I don't think anybody
See, the-
chooses to not mention Aam Aadmi Party twice and
mention
notice
the biggest punch.
biggest punch is by us. Sir,
Biggest
forget.
punches from
Aam Aadmi Party.
Aam Aadmi Party.
So I choose not
In
to take
Punjab,
name of
in
the Aam Aadmi
Delhi,
Party
twice a city doesn't
because the
make no
spokesperson
difference.
is sitting next to me. I am pretty much feel about
You
the
might
party.
get a
There will be an actual punch, huh?
I'm a little far away.
Yeah.
Or
Ghanshyam
in the
Tiwari.
center maybe.
Ghanshyam Tiwari and Mr. Satya Prakash.
I think election at a national level will be definitely a contest on two sides in some way, right? And we have spoken at length about the configuration of the opposition. But look at what we are even not speaking about BJP. They speak about Mission 350 without an agenda, without an alternative to a leader, without a demonstrative change on what they have promised, and without an alliance partner. Allying with BJP is walking to your deathbed, whether it is Shiv Sena or whether it is any other party, Shiromani Akali Dal, Mehbooba Mufti. So BJP's Mission 350 is an ultimate dictatorial mission in my view, which dismisses the voter and says that their grandstanding and lampooning of other leaders itself is sufficient. The agenda doesn't matter, alliance partner doesn't matter, past promises don't matter.
Okay.
I completely agree with Ghanshyam. You know, I want to add one more point, that if this BJP daydream of 350 is not possible once the Congress and other political party come together under the leadership of whomsoever. There are so many leaders. But it is,
that's the biggest if,
you know,
for the past 8 years.
Why it happened this time, why it is going to happen this time, because you know, every political party's responsibility is to contain BJP. There may be differences, but it is every political party's responsibility, and without Congress, no political opposition unity can be seen from now on.
Okay. I've run out of time. Very quickly, Nalini.
Very quickly,
Closing comment.
can I just go back to the election commission?
Yes,
and
please.
the 45 crore migrant voters that they are going to catch
Exactly.
now. Have we
It's
got
a big decision actually.
and have journalists got enough tools to be able to monitor this and scrutinize this? Are we absolutely okay overnight for having such a thing? The other thing is that I do go back to the vote hike, the polling percentage hike that the election commission has announced in the last 5 or 6 years. Please look at all the results.
The difference between provisional data and the real data.
Yeah, what they announced. I spoke to many members of parliament and MLAs, and also recent ones. So these people have a very good idea of which booth voted what. So if on the next morning or the morning after that there is a hike of 3 to 5%, we should be looking at it. As I said, I am not saying that the election commission, and also it's happening in BJP states or leaning states, and I'm not saying the election commission is pulling rabbits out of the hat, but where is the hat? We want to look at it.
Okay, perfect. All right, we've come to the end of this discussion. Thank you very much and a happy new year. Let's hope that we have many more such discussions when 10 assembly elections will take place, and then of course the big contest, which is, and I repeat again, only 16 months away. Good night and goodbye.